Welcome back everyone to River and Sea, where we have arrived at Scarloc Farm, where I believe we are supposed to meet a ranger. Malafong nods as you approach. Ah! Here he is.
Honderoth sent you to us. I'm glad he still lives.
Too many of my folk were scattered into the wild by the attacks of the terrible riders, and some were slain even as they ran. Those who survived made for the farm, and there must be other safe havens as well. Safe, did I say? No place is safe. I haven't seen any sign of the riders for 2 days, but there are orcs and half-orcs gathered in the South Downs, and they are ever a threat. Ooh. Let's see, what do we get here? We get a ring. A ring that is a nice upgrade, too.
Half-orcs gather around Amon Fian, the Dead Mount, a place of ill omen to the east.
And some of those half-orcs, some of them have dared to venture into the farm area. I suspect that they may hold orders that guide their movements. Find these orders, if they exist, and return to me with what you find. When we know what they seek to achieve, and how their movements align with those of the Black Riders that attacked us, we will better be able to oppose them. Alright, I suppose we can do that. Find orders from a half-orc. Now, looks like we've got another ranger who wishes us to help him.
To the north lie the ruins of Halfniri.
My ancestors' rest there in an ancient stone sarcophagi, but recently the tombs have been corrupted by goblins. I implore you to do what you can to lessen their numbers, that the dead may sleep more soundly. Alright, so defeat goblins up in that area. See, they want me to go to their farmstead. So that's in the opposite direction, so let's take care of this first. Ah! Here's an half-orc right over here. Howdy! Wanted to spar a little bit. You find a scrap of parchment on the half-orc's body. Well, that was easy enough. Now let's see what those orders say. That way the attack will come from both directions, north from the Blue Mountains and south up the Greenway. Your force will bear a great deal of the weight, for I don't trust the goblins will do their part. They were given their orders, but I know those creatures, and they lack the care or the fortitude of your sort. They have claimed the ruins northwest of Deadmount, but whether they can be counted on, well, you know goblins. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that they've left their orders lying about. Well, that would be a bit of a problem, bit of a security risk, from their point of view at least.
Half-orcs working with goblins. Sounds as if neither side is very happy about it.
But I can't tell from what their overall scheme might be, or for what they toil. A half-orc held the quill that penned these orders, I believe. This is not one of those terrible writers, but for whom did the half-orc write them? If the author of these orders is to be believed, we might learn more about these goblins that dwell in the ruins to the northwest of Amathfird, Halfniri. Those are called. Let us hope that the goblins are as careless with their orders as the half-orc believes there be. Well, I guess I'll find out if there are scraps of orders all strewn about. And besides, I do need to kill 6 goblins up there in any case. So, if they're carrying them out, maybe they'll have 6 salvageable pieces. I believe that this is the right place. Well, there is a goblin here. I guess that's a good sign. Well, good sign is a relative term in this case. A good sign that I'm at the right place. Not a good sign that there are goblins here. Also not a good sign that there are orcs here. Now, let's see if we can find those. Oh, hold on, there are papers scattered around down there. Really? Oh, and there are also goblins on the other side. Alright, there we go. Now, papers! Something here. Oh, these guys. Alright. I really need to get a ranged attack on this character. It's usually the first thing I think of when I have to face those sappers. Nothing ranged here? Ah, I really should have thought about that the last time I was allocating skills. It was actually just before this episode started. Well, he's got parchments here. See if I can avoid those nasty. I can at least do this. Even if I can't attack them at range in any way. Let's see. No option at range I can think of? Well, let's see, I've got 5 of these, and I gotta kill 7 more goblins. Well, the only thing worse than fighting a sapper head on is being ambushed by one, so I guess I'm going to have to. I completely missed it, but I did make sure that he was a little awry in his toss, I guess. So I guess it wasn't a total loss. There we go. Now, up this way. Well, gotcha! I still need to get a few more skills on this character. We're only level 25. Hold on. Where are you? I hear you sneaking around. Oh, that's the one? That was a pretty good range. Ah! All the orders! Oh, there's the other sneak. I thought there'd be another sneak around here somewhere. He's being sneaky. I thinned out those goblins for you.
May those wretched creatures be driven from this land for good.
I'm sure there are a great number of people who wish that. Especially these folk. Now, let's find a good spot where we could examine all these papers. Ah, that looks like a good spot right over there. Let's do some sorting. Alright, let's see. Let's put this one over here, that one over there. Good. Well, it's a start. How about a little bit more over here? Yes. Well, this looks like this starts where the other one ends. Alright, that's better. Alright, now let's have a look at these. Hey! Be careful! Well, at least they didn't grab it for their nesting materials. That would have been troublesome. How's this going to be doing? I think this works. Well, anything else? Let's consider. Let that be a lesson to you goblins then. The big ones have ways of dealing with treachery, and if you work against their goals, what happened to the last batch can happen to you and yours as well. You'll be told what you need to know when you have need of it and not before. The Dark Lord will repay us for our service. Why else would the very wisest throw their lot in with him, even as we have done? The dwarves will be easily manipulated. They'll follow Skorgrim wherever they lead him, no matter who leads Skorgrim. I trust the Gut Lord can do this, and that should be enough for you lot. The attack will come from both directions, down from the Blue Mountains and up the Greenway from across the old barrels. Even now the Witch King works to raise the spirits of the dead. With the aid of the Grey Fear, none will stand against him or against us. It was the fear that laid waste to the old kingdom that once stood here, and see what little of it remains. The shadow arises in Angmar, but it needs time to gather its strength. Not much time, but time all the same. That's what we're here for, my gang and your lot. Just don't get in the way of the riders or the Great Fear. No one will save you then, and you wouldn't want to. You would just yearn for death. What the fear would do to you doesn't bear thinking about. So, you stay out of the way. These are the Dark Lord's most valued servants. You and me are just worms to such as them, and worms can get squashed. If they haven't got the brains enough to get clear, we'll be called on when we're needed. Uh-huh. Well, that didn't sound good.
I don't like the sound of that. Any of that.
Not only do servants of the White Hand move openly in Swanfleet, but in Cartaland and beyond there are other powers at work. The Witch King and the Black Riders, goblins and half-orcs making common cause, and now a dwarf rebellion led by someone named Skorgrim? Judging from the name, he is no Longbeard, but if he leads an army out of the Blue Mountains, we'll be hard-pressed to deal with him, no matter who it might be. But there is something else too. These orders speak of someone called the Grey Fear. That is a familiar title, but I cannot remember why, and that worries me. That worries you. Well, this leather jacket is a nice upgrade, so that doesn't worry me.
This has given us a lot to think about. But what is the Grey Fear?
Is the Grey Fear a person? A spirit? Or something else? Whatever it may be, if it is responsible for some way for the fall of Cartaland or the breaking of Arnor, we need to prevent it from working a similar evil against us today. What does Malfang have to say about this? Well, it is a good question.
The Grey Fear? No, I've never heard of anything by that name.
Is it possible that the Grey Fear might be a disease or an ailment of some kind? I seem to remember that there was a scholar amongst the Dunedain who dwelt among the ruins of Old Cartaland, though his name escaped me. Handarad may know of his whereabouts. He was encamped outside of Karanost, was he not? Perhaps you should return and ask him? That means back to Sirlond? I suppose we shouldn't leave this family hanging. Hello.
A band of goblins took over the Hove farm.
Alright, and they've captured some of your family. So rescue Tomer, Kled, Tom, and Arwell. Alright. And what do you need? Oh, who are you? Are you here to help? Oh, please say yes. A terrible goblins raided our farm and I want to go home. But they're still there and I can see the smoke from here. Oh, please, 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 please put out the fires. Oh, hey. So get a bucket and help to put out the fire. Now, I need a bucket first. Alright, fine. Let's put out the fires. Okay. Now, what else do we need to do?
Oh, hello. Did you come here from the west?
Have you been to the farm? The Scarlocs have been so kind to us, they took us in when a wretched band of goblins drove us out of our land. The fiends killed our cows and ate all of our food. Oh, poor Nellie. She was such a good cow, too. Oh, we do not have much, but if you happen to go back to the farm, give the goblins a taste of their medicine. Okay, so defeat goblins. Defeat 12 goblins or defeat Luclob. So either kill their leader or kill 12 non-leader goblins. Okay, that's a rather strange ore condition.
Greetings. I heard Edru talking to you about our farm.
Yes, I heard Edward talk about our farm. If you're going that way, I will also beg you a boon. I hurt my back during the raid on the farm, but I'm not able to help out here much as I usually have done. If I'm going to get stuck off my feet, I can be useful, but not without my woodworking tools. Okay, so he needs his woodworking tools. Apparently, he can do woodworking with his back, but not a great deal of heavy lifting. I suppose that makes sense. Now, let's go and find this other farm. I will assume that this is the farm in question. Looks like some of the fire is gone out, maybe. But there are definitely goblins here still. Right, so that's one goblin. Well, I spoke too soon when I said that the fires have gone out. No, there are definitely still fires over here. Continue on then. Good. Now, I better... Oh, let's get the toolbox so we can at least bring the woodworking tools over. Okay, let's take care of you, take care of you. I just hope I don't find more of those. Oh, poor Nelly. Now, yes. Let's fill the bucket with water because we are going to be needing it, it looks like. Whoops-a-daisy. That's right, I'm supposed to be looking for prisoners also while I'm here, right? Well, alright, now, let's deal with these two. Is this advanced? Yeah, it's sweeping advanced. Yeah, that's an AoE now. Alright, so let's put out this. You don't want everything all burnt up. Hey, want to be free? I thought you'd appreciate that. Now. Oops. Oh, there's another prisoner right over there. Okay, these are flames that I can try to quench. Another prisoner. They killed everything! They ate everything! Oh, I think you're happy that they didn't eat you. There you go. How am I doing with my goblin count? Oh, actually this is 12 right here, right? Yeah. It says that I'm done. So, you don't need to kill the leader then. As long as you killed 12 of them, I guess he has no one left to lead. Oops, well, a couple left to lead. Oh, actually that's the leader right there. Okay, well, I killed the leader anyway. Since you're hard-pressed to free this prisoner without killing the leader, I'll assume that condition exists just in case another player came around here a little earlier and killed the leader and you don't have to go around waiting for a respawn or something like that. These are very, very persnickety. You need to stay exactly in place or they don't count. Bloodmore leader. Well, alright. Looks like that must be the new unnamed leader after we killed the main one. Sort of like that instance involving the Great Goblin, where I think you have to kill 3 Great Goblins in the same instance, or something like that. No. Where is the last prisoner? Ah, here he is. There are too many of them. Yep. Now, what do we got? Check, 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 check. Back to the farm. I hope I found everyone.
You did it! You really did it!
I didn't think that you could, but I am more than happy to be proven wrong. Thanks are in order, I suppose. Alright, I took care of the fires.
Woo!
Oh, you did it? Oh, thank you, thank you. I hope that we could go home soon. Well, we're going to learn some woodworking very quickly. More likely carpentry. Speaking of woodworking.
You found them. Now I can start to pitch in around here.
Thank you, friend. Thank you for everything that you've done. There you go. Now we are done with this place. I think it's time for us to head on back to Scarloc, where you'll find me in the next episode of River and Sea.